Hi, my name is Carl Jarvis. I'm a candidate for Houston City Council District C against Ellen Cohen. You may have already seen one of the videos I made opposing the HERO ordinance, and that ordinance is going to be on the ballot this Tuesday, and this third video is really just a reminder, if you haven't voted already, to get out and vote no on Proposition 1. And along with that message, I want to share with you a few of the responses to some of the other videos that I made. Now, overwhelmingly, the response has been positive and encouraging in the arguments and the stance that I took against the HERO ordinance. However, I want to share with you a few of the responses that were a little bit more interesting by some folks who were, I guess you would say, proponents of the HERO ordinance. Now, one of the responses early on was an individual who, I guess this was on Facebook, said that my story was not credible, that he didn't believe that a restaurant would discriminate against a family with kids. And I would take this criticism of the story as, how can we be sure that anyone's been discriminated against under this ordinance? That was the whole point of the video. And I think that some people may have misinterpreted that, but that was in fact the point. How can you really look into someone's heart and see how they felt and call that a law when someone feels like they're discriminated against? Another person, and this actually came in the form of a phone call from an acquaintance who was very dismayed to hear that I'd taken the stand against the HERO ordinance. And this is one of those phone calls that you get that I think makes a lot of people not want to become candidates, or it makes some candidates wishy-washy on issues because they're worried about who they might upset. And in the course of this conversation with this rather irate acquaintance of mine, I told that story. I asked him if he'd seen the video. He hadn't seen the video. So I told the story of what happened to my family in the restaurant, and I asked him, was that discrimination? By the way, if you haven't seen that video, you can find it at herosucks.com. I should have mentioned that earlier. His response when I asked him if my family had been discriminated against was, I don't know, was it a pattern of discrimination? And my answer to him was, I don't know either, but this ordinance doesn't say that it has to be a pattern. It just says it has to happen one time, and the person can file a complaint that makes that business legally liable. And my favorite response to the video, at least on the negative side, was a person who basically accused me of whining. And this again was the result of, I think, someone mistakenly sharing that video on Facebook among supporters of the ordinance, and one of their friends coming out and asking if I wasn't just whining, which really raises the question, aren't the people who say that we need this ordinance, aren't they just whining? And do we really need this ordinance? Anyway, I would encourage you to share the previous videos, if you haven't already, that you can find at herosucks.com. And more importantly, vote no on Proposition 1 this Tuesday if you haven't voted already. Vote for Carl Jarvis for Houston City Council District C. Thank you.